digital creators earners list. उसमें कोई female का नाम नहीं था, and she put out a tweet saying that the digital space is probably making the same mistakes of ancient industries. She could have just left it there, but after people explained to her why इतना backlash आया है tweet पे, तो भी she put out another tweet just justifying what she had said. Where it's just like, I always considered her to be a very rational person, but here मुझे ऐसा लगा ये क्या चल रहा है. और
Hello my hamsters, and welcome back to the doll house with a beautiful facade that is my YouTube channel. So happy 2021, you made it, be proud of yourself. Second thing, let's talk about Lilly Singh. That's been actually, funnily enough, something that's been on my chest quite a bit, because I am an ex-fan of Lilly Singh, and my story with her is actually quite interesting. But there are people who have a way more insider look, such as, I'm going to butcher this name, Equalist Asha, who's made an incredibly informative 8-minute long video that I actually urge you to check because it is better than mine, and she should teach me a couple of things about captioning, because I want to do that and I don't know how. Okay, without any further ado, let's get rolling. This is just my opinion, just my take. Please look at my banner and don't take me way too seriously. How I discovered Lilly is through two of my close friends. They basically talked about Liza Koshy, and they were like, Liza's amazing, Liza's great, Liza's extraordinary, funny, ha ha ha, amazing jokes. And they also mentioned Lilly. They were like, okay, Liza's amazing and great and everything, but you can also look at Lilly. You can also kind of watch her stuff. So I looked at both Liza and Lilly, and I was like, you know what? They were kind of wrong. Lily's great and amazing and funny. You can also watch Liza's stuff, which is how my brain interpreted that. So I continued on, and I watched every single video from her channel. No exceptions, I think. I watched some things even like twice or 3 times. And it's a weird experience because she clearly targets young, impressionable girls. But then when you get to her vlog channel, you have like this huge hustle culture moment. And you can only imagine how stoked I was when I discovered, oh, I can look at Lilly's videos every single day and there's going to be a new one. That's such a weird thing because it is for young impressionable girls, and I think Lilly's amazing with young impressionable girls actually, because we have proof. She's done the Girl Love campaign that's not only been incredibly successful but has been about an incredibly important cause. So I cannot really fault that in any way. But just the way she's all about hustle culture on her vlog channel is weird. Like, people, those little girls, because we're not talking about adults here for the most part, those young girls come to vlogs for motivation, right? Because they know Lilly's motivational and inspirational and has made it to the top from the bottom and yada, yada, yada. And they look at that, and I think my instinct is to say, yeah, they'll feel crappy after they see Lilly have a horribly long list of the things that she's done, and they didn't do anything that day. I do find that type of hustle culture can be very damaging because I've been a part of it. Don't worry, it's not only because of Lilly. It's a long story, but yeah, I did end up in hustle culture, and I think in this kind of 2020 times, it's actually weirdly gotten better for me in that respect. But yeah.
Lilly. It didn't only happen once. Exhibit B! New York comedian Mary Beth Barone called out Lilly Singh on Instagram with this video that was taken when she was on Comedy Central.
I had a boyfriend once who was constantly on his phone, just swiping and swiping and swiping, and I was like, oh, interesting. So you do know how to use your fingers.
Unless after sex you enjoy lying next to someone, watching them scroll through their own tweets. because that's happened to me with more than one person. We're just like scrolling, and I'm like, oh, your index finger does work.
The caption said, interesting approach to doing my joke. I have some notes. Anyways, watch my set from Clusterfest via the link in the bio.
I discovered that she's gonna have a late night show. That was so exciting for me because I knew she had a book. I didn't look at any criticisms of it, and even if I did, I was like, it cannot be that bad, whatever. I glossed over it. I'm gonna get back to the book after the show, but the show is really the main moment for me. So I discover she's gonna have a show. I jump around the house, and this is literally what happened. I jump around the house, and I'm like, she has a show, that's amazing. Can't wait to watch it. Boy, was it a disappointment. Because I expected the show to be like her channel, but kind of made into a format that is also catering to an adult audience to some extent, you know? Kind of like a family-friendly show type situation. And it wasn't. And now you can only imagine how baffled I was when I discovered that she was stealing jokes. Now we have proof of this, all the sources in the description as always. We have proof of this, and I have a clip actually. So that's amazing. Having beef with another comedian doesn't say anything else, but yeah, I'm the person to trust here. Like, it creates a really kind of uncomfy vibe, doesn't it? Because, like, I'm sure no one wants to trust a comedian that steals jokes. That should be fairly obvious. Moving on. After that, you know, many people said her jokes are unfunny. Her jokes are repetitive. But I actually think it's not only jokes. Because when you think of this, the YouTuber that I mentioned in the beginning, whose video you should again check out, pointed out to 2 tweets that I'm going to read out loud because I don't think they were read out loud in her video. So, they say, a few days ago I tweeted about 0 women being on the Forbes YouTuber list. My concern wasn't me not being on the list. I likely don't deserve to be on the list this year, to be honest. I've had a tough year. I know that. My concern was no female representation, so that was the second tweet. And that's just a repeat. Now let's see the first tweet here. It says, 2 years ago, it was almost even between male and female. Last year, it was just me. And this year, there are no females at all. Something I predicted in my Instagram caption last year. I'm concerned the digital space is going to repeat the mistakes of the ancient industries. Hope I'm wrong. So, let's be real here. I'm terrified of the AI. Which is ironic enough because I'm posting this to an algorithm. But, you know, and actually partly for these reasons, you know, like I'm scared that someone could teach it that women don't deserve jobs. I'm scared that someone could teach it these like discriminatory, horrible things, and I'm scared it could make world a worse place. But this repetition that Lilly does here actually lingers throughout all of her work, everywhere. And whenever you repeat these glaring important issues as if they're goodbye and hello, they to an extent lose their importance. Because yes, even though you want to point attention to it as much as you cannot make it goodbye and hello. So that's one thing. Then Lilly has always been kind of like this hardworking, I already mentioned it, was once on the bottom, you know, struggling with depression and things, and now is at the top, successful, happy, great, hustling. That's all amazing. But the name dropping, and especially with that aura that she always had, I don't think I'm the only fan or ex-fan that thought that. You know, like that aura of kind of, she's hardworking, she's humble. No. I mean, actually, my opinion has really changed on that. I think she's hardworking, definitely. Humble. Yeah. once I discovered Rachel Oates and came over her kind of criticism of Lilly's book, because Rachel at the time really began to be someone I very much respected. I still do. She's one of my favorite YouTubers, if not the favorite YouTuber. So, I valued what she had to say, because with the other critics, I really kind of did turn the other cheek, I think. Which is weird to me now when I look back, because with other YouTubers and with other people, I wouldn't do that now, but with Lilly, I did. And yeah, Rachel pointed out to her bragging a lot, like a lot. And, name dropping people. It's fine to say, hey, I have these amazing people I've worked with. And yes, they're amazing, they're famous, whatever. But what she does is basically creates this picture of, hey, I collaborated with every celebrity under the sun. And then I think people like boy in a band get accused of being, I don't know, too much or wanting an army because they collaborate with someone higher up the ladder.
Talk about, when you feel pressure. And she's like, oh, when you have to go give a big presentation in school and you get scared. Oh yeah, I can totally relate, because of the times I worked with Selena Gomez, Priyanka Chopra, Shay Mitchell, and Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'm not exaggerating, she literally does that. She drops all 4 of them and compares it to giving a presentation in school. Just so funny and relatable, right? Yeah? I'm learning so much. Now please tell me how many sugars Selena Gomez takes in her coffee, because I just know you're waiting to brag about it, Lilly.
So yeah, when I compare the two, it's kind of weird. Also, that's kind of actually how everything came to be. And also, yeah, that ties into the main topic. Lilly struggles to accept criticism, is my opinion. I think she really does. Whenever commentary YouTubers, so many of them, including these that had a bit more of a this is this mean person online reputation, I don't know, James Marriott or I Never potentially. Even when James spoke about her, he was like, I have to acknowledge that Lilly is an incredibly successful woman. When Fraser, aka I Never, spoke about her, he was like, Lilly is incredibly successful. Having a show like this is an incredible accomplishment. Going in a direction of diversity is an incredible accomplishment. But Lilly, this is not what it can be, and we want you to build it better. And then Lilly comes back with this incredible tweet showing us all why commentary YouTubers are incredibly bad. Well, now I guess I'm on bad Santa's list, aren't I?
Imagine making a living by posting mean videos to YouTube. Some wise words there from the creator of the formidable My Dog Roasts Me challenge. So not only do you have your jokes written for you, but you're also speciesist. Disappointing. She goes on a big rant about why drama channels are bad, and she actually finishes the tweet with a message to the only people who can stand her content. Young kids, don't follow this example. It's not good for the soul or the longevity of your career.
Because you cannot always just take things at face value. And I think that is the danger of catering to young people and then switching on TV and switching to more adult stuff, because I don't think Lilly still has the, how to say it? I think she still doesn't fully have her style when it comes to a late night show situation. So much so that she would make her audience fake laugh, and we have proof of this by someone who's gone to Lilly's show 4 times.
I'm Amanda, you're watching Soul Entertainment, and I went to a couple tapings of A Little Late with Lilly Singh. A comment that was made by her was, now guys, we want to make sure that we're being as loud and excited as possible, because sometimes when people are watching at home, if they don't hear laughter, then they might think it's not that funny.
I do think Lilly doesn't take criticism very well. And I think that's kind of the main thing. The hustle culture, the toxic positivity in some cases you can find, and the not taking criticism very well in many cases, they don't only disappoint Lilly's fans after a while. I think these are the things that make Lilly's fans grow out of Lilly, quote unquote. But I also think they kind of kill Lilly herself. So that's another thing. Because as the YouTuber that made that 8-minute video, I'm sorry, I do not want to butcher names again and again, so I have to make something incredibly long up. She said that she wants to become a fan of Lilly's again. She wants to see her content flourish, but with what is out there, with her attitudes and thoughts that are out there, with the repetitiveness of them, with sometimes a condescending tone, like the video that's, I think, titled How to Make a Perfect Boyfriend, something like that. Yeah, I do think that video was very condescending. Once upon a time, I used to actually defend it very strongly, but I'm not of the same opinion now at all. It was kind of condescending. So, that's around it. These are my thoughts on Lilly. As always, people like Fraser, James Marriott, Rachel Oates, and Butchering Alert, Equally Stasha are going to be linked. I suggest you watch the 8-minute video that I mentioned a billion times till now first, because it does have a ton of information and it's very well put. And I think two of us want to paint a very similar picture. But yeah, again, to end this on a positive note, I do not hate Lilly. Despite of her despising commentary channels, I do not hate Lilly. I think she's a successful woman. She can be a great role model. But I think there's so much work to do, and there are still points to polish, maybe not steal jokes, maybe not name drop as much, and maybe adapt to adult audience and not repeat things so much so that they lose importance. Okay, I am sorry for this big ramble. I hope I managed to put it into something cohesive, but if you liked it, you can go ahead and click the like button because more videos like this are coming soon. I love doing them. And you can subscribe if you want to see more from me and click the bell to get updated whenever I upload because YouTube is weird. That's around it. Thank you all for watching. I love you all so much. And again, happy 2021. Seriously, you made it. Well done. Congratulations. And see you next time.